Ontario, the host of the 2022 Minto Cup here at the CAA Centre, and it is the start of the best-of-3 final series between the Edmonton Miners and the Whitby Warriors. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Jonathan Donville. We'll get to Paul Hendrick, Joe Bowen, and Brian Shanahan in just a few minutes. But first, Jonathan, what a great tournament we've had so far, and culminating here with the final series with Edmonton and Whitby.
Yeah, in Ontario all year the story was parity, and at the Minto Cup with all the 3 provinces represented, it's been parity again. The first Alberta team to make it thus far, multiple overtime games, only really one blowout in this tournament. It's been as close as you could ask for.
And that was in the semifinal game. The way that Edmonton got here for the right to play for Alberta's first ever Minto Cup championship. Here is how Edmonton got there, and it was a huge 20 spot put up against the Toronto Beaches 2 nights ago in the semifinals.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was writing Edmonton out of this game, but to have it be a blowout the way it was certainly a surprise. Elite power play in this game, and really just an explosion of scoring, unlike anything we've seen in this tournament, unlike anything we've seen from this Edmonton team. You'll notice a lot of their goals right in on the crease, getting to the middle of the floor in both transition, 5-on-5, and the power play. Going to be a big key in this final series as well.
And this is an Edmonton Miners team that is absolutely rolling right now, coming off that big win. They had to play to get in against the Victoria Shamrocks at both of them 0-2 on the final day of round robin, and then that semifinal game as well. And the win lit social media on fire.
Like we said, this is an unprecedented event, right? We haven't seen an Alberta team make it this far, and these Miners players are getting the kudos that they deserve. I will say, though, their strength throughout this whole tournament has been not too high, not too low. If you think these guys are just happy to be here in the finals, you got the wrong team. These guys want to win, they believe they can win, and they're looking forward to showing it.
I know there's a few side bets going on as well. Cody Jansen, Dan Lintner had a little bit of back and forth on Twitter. They've got some on there. If anything else is like that, we want to hear about it, and we don't want to tell your story. But on the Whitby side of things, I mean, they've been rolling since the month of April, and getting them here by way of the 3-0 bye in the round robin.
Yeah, haven't lost a game since the Ontario semifinals, right? Swept the Ontario finals, have been perfect thus far through this tournament. And most importantly, they get an extra day off yesterday, 2 days ago. So 2 days off as opposed to 1 for the Miners, and also 1 less game. That rest is going to be huge. This is a team that's led by the 2 stars. Adam Poitras and Brock Haley put up ridiculous numbers throughout the regular season and playoffs, and they'll be big again. But a lot of depth on this team, especially in the back end. A lot of guys who can move the ball and bury it from the defensive side.
And interesting note for Whitby, they've actually moved into the hotel now. They're not going back and forth home and away as they did for a little bit in the end of the round robin. They're full in on tournament mode with business to do. Leader, you talked about for the Whitby Warriors, Brock Haley. Compare that to Matthew Gauthier, who was the offensive superstar for the Miners. We had him for 10 points in that semifinal game.
Yeah, these guys are both having remarkable tournaments, but they kind of operate in different ways. Haley uses a big outside shot to set up toe drags and face dodges to get to the goal. Gauthier is completely inside out. One of the best loose ball players, frankly, I've ever seen, having one of the great loose ball tournaments of all time. Uses those hustle plays almost like a power forward, Matty, in hockey. Scores a lot of his goals right around the net. Gets a lot of his assists right around the net. Haley, one of the best outside shooters, one of the best outside shooting seasons we've ever seen, especially here in recent memory. 2 different players, but they've both been hugely successful for their clubs.
5.3 points per game average here in the tournament for Brock Haley, 5 for Gauthier, but in the playoffs it was Gauthier with a 6.3, actually ahead of the 5.5 of Brock Haley. Now, reunited after what seems like a long time but a short time, Joe Bowen and Brian Shanahan will take you through game number 1 of the finals. Enjoy it, everyone.
Thanks very much, fellas. You don't look any older at all. Why would they say that? I have no idea.
I colored my hair to match you, Joe.
Well, you did a nice job, and your hairdresser should be complimented. And we've got Paul Hendrick here as well. It's been a while since I've called a lacrosse game, since the Toronto Rock days, but this tournament, Brian, has been just outstanding. And the Whitby Warriors have earned the berth of getting to the final with some added rest, as the fellas mentioned. But this is a team that can really turn things up and and maybe they haven't played their best.
Yeah, you know what? It almost seems like they've just done enough to win in these games. But what I like about Whitby is they play with so much composure. They've been up and down in these games. It's not like they've been, even though they're 3-0, they've been down by a couple of goals a few times against everybody in this tournament. They just seem to have that feeling they know they're going to win. I believe they've had the best transition in the tournament, and Sean Williams, their head coach, says to me that's going to be one of the keys in this game for them to out-transition Edmonton, who has also scored in every which way possible.
Goaltending has been outstanding in this tournament. You're going to see Keegan Malenchuk, his 10.03 goals against average, an .835 save percentage. He has been excellent for the Edmonton Miners. And at the other end of the building is a young man that has really been a key component for Whitby's success in the playoffs especially. And they have played exceptionally well in front of him. And we get another look here as we take a look at, we'll get that done with, there he is. And Martin has been outstanding.
Yeah, he sure has. I mean, the team's played great defense, and from there you see the numbers of fantastic goals against average, save percentage, and he's their number one guy without a doubt.
When you have a team like this, and both teams, in fact, you mentioned it, in the game that they played against one another, Whitby was down 3 times on the score sheet, and yet were able to come back and rally. This is a team that really has got a lot of poise. But when you take a look at Edmonton, they're here for a reason. And I know nobody from Alberta has ever won the Minto Cup, but they are here on a mission, and they seem very confident.
Yeah, you know, and everybody's talking about what a surprise it is. It's not a surprise for those guys in that Edmonton dressing room. They expected it. They said so before this started. We're here to go to the Minto Cup. We're here to win the Minto Cup. And they played great, and they seem to have got better as they've gone along. But you know, Whitby, I still put Whitby as the slight favorite here, and it's the 2 big guns they have, Poitras and Brock Haley, and I don't think we've seen the best from Haley yet. Here's a guy who averaged almost 5 goals a game in the regular season, and even though I'm saying he hasn't had an unbelievable tournament, he's still among the top scorers in the tournament. So I think Brock Haley, Adam Poitras are going to say a lot for Whitby's success, and then Matthew Gauthier from Edmonton, plus everybody else.
2 out of 3. We'll find out who wins Game 1 as we get set for the opening game of the championship round of the Minto Cup. We'll be back with the first period after this.
Look at the CAA Center here in Brampton, Ontario. Matt Bauman has been the PA announcer here all week long. We'll send it down to him for pregame ceremonies, the land acknowledgement, the anthems, and then it's game time.
At this time, may I please ask everybody to rise and remove your hats for our land acknowledgement, followed by the playing of the Iroquois and Canadian national anthems. We would like to begin by acknowledging the land on which we gather, and which the region of Peel operates, is part of the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. For thousands of years, Indigenous people inhabited and cared for this land and continue to do so today. In particular, we acknowledge the territory of the Anishinaabeg, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Ojibwe Chippewa peoples. The land that is home to the Métis and most recently the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nations, and who are direct descendants of the Mississauga of the Credit. We're grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land, and by doing so, give our respect to its first inhabitants. Thank you very much.
And welcome back to Brampton, the CAA Centre here at Centre Court. Of course, looking forward to what will be a historic night. The Edmonton Miners and the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League in this championship final for the first time in 18 years. And full credit not only to the players, but head coach John Lentz. He knows, as Shani has talked about, they didn't expect just to be here. They expect to win, and there's no fear, simply respect for the Ontario kids. And this goes back to the midget ranks in competition 5 years ago, where the Alberta reps were able to eat, or at least beat, the Ontario teams. Now moving forward to Sean Williams, of course a National Lacrosse League Hall of Famer. He is guiding the third seeds out of the province of Ontario, but a team that has come in so strong out of Ontario to go 11-2 in the playoffs up until this point here tonight. hoping to follow in the footsteps of some great teams out of Whitby and looking to give Whitby its 7th ever Minto Cup, which could be decided either tomorrow night or perhaps Monday. Let's send it upstairs to Joe in Bryan.
Thank you, Paul. Good to have you back. As we're ready to go with the first period of Game 1. Jacob Power taking the face-off for Whitby. And we are set to go. The officials, 3 of them on the floor. Blair Ferguson from St. Catharines is the crew chief. Whitby with the first opportunity and a pass in front. John Vandergleesen of Orangeville along with Riley Lowe of Port Coquitlam, BC are on the floor. Jeremy Baylor, the standby from Leamington, Ontario, is in the building. And we get going. A team that really is, I don't know if there's a Joe Namath on it, but like the New York Jets of so many years ago, the Edmonton team is here thinking, you know what, we can win this. And they get the opening goal right off the hop.
Oh my gosh, what a start for Edmonton. They just opening offensive possession. They just move the ball around.
I think it's Jack Royer who's going to get it, Shanny.
Yeah, watch the ball moves up the floor quickly. That's Gauthier, puts it in the corner. Across to the other side, Royer takes the quick underhand shot. That's good because going the east-west pass makes your goalie move the farthest, and it's the fact that it's a quick shot. Fantastic start, first goal by Royer.
So Royer gets them on the board to start it off, and Edmonton, who had a real good game in their semi-final against Toronto Beaches, and were able to really get their offense going, get it started here early again. Harris working into the corner. Kalen Harris looking for a man in front, still with it as he curls back, and they'll set it up outside. Another pass by Royer goes into the corner. Royer getting it back again, but he fumbled it, and we get our first turnover. Whitby on the run. And let's see if they'll press the attack here with Oldman trying to get it, and it rolls into the net. Jack Oldman from Pickering gets Whitby on the board on a bit of a rush after the first real turnover in this game.
And that's one of the things Coach Sean Williams said to me is important for them, is they have to win the transition game. Now it's early in the game, but what a great start as Oldman knocks that ball down and takes it in. And I don't know if you realize, that's Adam Patras, the great scorer, scored 5 goals the last time they played, running with them. He doesn't make the pass. And that's something also that's interesting. The fact that they put some of their best offensive players play defense on Whitby so that they can add to the transition to offense.
Scrummed face-off, controlled by Harris. Harris will flip it off. And it's going to be controlled and carried back in as they make their changes. And Pfeiffer will work for a man in front. Pfeiffer back into the slot, dishes off. Darrelson gets it on the wing, and a shot and a good save made by Keegan Malenchuk. Malenchuk is from New Westminster, BC, and was a key component to the addition to the Edmonton team, and has really been a solidifying effect as far as the goalkeeping is concerned.
Yeah, they added him as a veteran goaltender. I believe it was mid-season. He's played so well.
Harris with a pass in. Good save made by Caleb Martin in goal for Whitby. Another shot, and Martin is able to take that off the chest. Ball on the carpet. Time turned over, and Whitby will bring the ball back up. Scott Reed bringing it out. The pass goes down into the corner now for Budway, looking for a man, still with it. A 1-1 tie early. Here's a chance going to the net, hard, and a shot stopped there on a good play as Patras took it right to the net. But Malenchuk stood tall, made the save, and was able to turn it aside.
And Patras has been the most dangerous player in this tournament. We talk about Gauthier has played very well for Edmonton, but Patras has been the best, in my opinion, so far in this tournament.
Jake Bowen with the ball, trying to work it into the corner. It's on the carpet as they bang around with it. Bowen trying to come up with it, and it's turned over again. Brought on by Lucas Littlejohn. Pass onto the wing, and a shot is stopped. Jonathan, what have you got for us down there?
Yeah, guys, as we mentioned on the last broadcast, this week is the Junior NLL tournament taking place in Oakville, where youth players representing the NLL markets are playing in their own tournament. I'm not sure if our viewers can see, but you'll notice a bunch of white cowboy hats right along rink level. Their Calgary Roughnecks youth team, their Junior NLL team, just walked in Roughnecks jerseys and white cowboy hats. Big cheering section here for Edmonton.
Gonna get one of those hats. Here's Whitby with it again. Haley with a pass, nicely taken away on an intercept right into the goal crease and brought back down the floor by Edmonton's Ronan Push. Push will set it up. McFadden heading for the bench as changes coming out the front door for Edmonton. A wraparound and Bastisti trying to get in front. Dropped it back and it's going to bound towards the timeline. Just kept in, but a turnover nonetheless. Racing away with it now is Darlison. He's going to hold on until the offense comes out the front door. Adam Poitras. What a player he is.
Yeah, he scores in every way possible. He's comfortable all over the floor.
Budway sending it off on the far side. They'll work it out of the right wing corner with Poitras trying to come to the slot. Dishes off now for Littlejohn in front of the net. Great save. That may have gone off the crossbar.
I think Melenichuk got a piece of that. That was an excellent save. Right in front of the net all alone for Whitby.
Get a look at the replay, picture-in-picture, and I think you're right. Yep, Melenichuk got it right off the shoulder, and a shot stopped by Caleb Martin, and Whitby will get the ball. As soon as Martin finds out where it is, there it is. Scott Reed bringing it up quickly. Not big of stature, but he can play, and he's a tough customer defensively for Whitby. Got a chance there on the offense.
Very nice play. Just saw it, an opening, and took it to the net and got a very good scoring chance.
Matthew Gauthier dishes off to Bastisti. Zach Bastisti trying to take it to the net with a shot, and he got it wide of the goal.
We're not lacking opportunities in this game so far. Both teams have had about 5 good scoring chances.
One of the great things about this tournament has been the parity as we get a scramble. Martin is down, but the official says it did not get in over the line. A 1-1 tie here in the first period with 14 and a half minutes to play in the championship game of the Minto Cup. The most difficult trophy in lacrosse to win. This is Pfeiffer with a backhand that went off his shoulder, controlled by Melenichuk, and Edmonton will bring it back. This is duplicated by the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, I agree with you in saying it's the toughest trophy to win in lacrosse because you've got 5 years of junior max, and you can build a team. If you miss on your chance, you lose it.
You think that Darcy Tucker won 3 Memorial Cups, which is absolutely incredible. And time runs out on Edmonton on this possession. 13:45 to play in the first period. Budway dishes it off, far side. Poitras gets it into the corner. Back off, mishandled by Brock Haley, but quickly recovered. Far side, looking for Poitras at the crease, didn't get it to him as Sorchetti took it. Now Gabriel Sorchetti gets it back, and now shot is going to deflect and go high and come out of play and almost bounce off one of those lovely Stetson hats down below us. 1-1 tie. We had some early goal scoring, but since then things have settled down into a bit of a defensive routine. There's Reed doing a nice job of taking the ball away, and all of a sudden now Whitby with another turnover. Pfeiffer getting it into the corner. Changes again. Littlejohn dishing it back. Pfeiffer over on the far side. Poitras, wind of the slot, got the shot away, and ow! That took one of the Edmonton players in the midriff. That was Darlison, and He didn't look very good for the wear, and then all of a sudden play continued and he got right back into it.
We had some pretty good battles too. I think it was Ben Cromer, or sorry, no.
Big collision.
There we go.
Mid-floor here. As Davis Dam got tangled up. Now we got some shoving on the far side with Peyton Wallace involved for Whitby, but another turnover, and the Warriors have the ball again.
You know that there's a few names circled on each team. Play this guy extra tough.
Chance inside and a good play by Haley, but it was over top and off the shoulder of the goalkeeper.
And Haley's one of them. Patras another.
Another shot, scores! Soroketti comes in from the corner, got nice position in front, got a bit of a low shot away, and Malenchuk couldn't come up with it.
So I just mentioned the two big guns, Patras and Haley, but you got these other guys, including Soroketti, that contribute. And watch as he just comes around the traffic and just gets that extra step. That's a beautiful shot, and almost impossible for a goalie to stop when he's moving from left to right, and that shot goes back to his left low like that. Excellent shot by Soroketti.
Jonathan, you had a good look at that?
Yeah, guys, something to watch on these face-offs as well. We mentioned Adam Patras plays in a lot of different situations. He actually starts on the back of the face-off, so they're looking to be super aggressive, fly him through the zone. They don't need him there. Jack Goldson's been outstanding, but Whitby wants to score in these face-offs. Haley's on the face-off unit. Patras is on the face-off unit. They're looking to score here, as just happened, and Littlejohn too. All these guys can score. They want to be aggressive, as you just saw.
Haley makes it 3-1.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Jonathan. The face-offs, they're not looking to just get the ball. And I've seen so many of those. This time it's Haley. We've seen Patras coming from the defensive end with speed, doing the same thing. And that's one of the things I really like about the way Sean coaches these teams. He gets these guys into it every way. You know, defense, face-offs. If you got that talent on your team, use it as much as you can.
A 2-goal lead, and now a chance for Edmonton! And very quickly they regain the scoring touch and retaliate after the goal scored on a very nice flip through, and I think it's Clayton Mander who gets the goal, coming loose and scoring on a partial breakaway.
Again, it's the possession. You get the ball up the floor quickly. He makes no mistake on it, and it is Mander who puts it in. And this is another thing I've been really impressed with Edmonton, how fast they respond. And we saw that especially against the Toronto Beaches the other day. How many times Toronto Beaches scored what they thought was a big goal, and Edmonton would come back within like 20 seconds to get one to take away momentum.
Jack Oldham dishing it off. A 3-2 Whitby lead. And a shot taken there by Pfeiffer went wide. Parker Pfeiffer not hitting the net, and Edmonton trying to regain possession here. Shivers dishing it off and trying to hold off the checking there of Kobe Hansor. Now getting into the corner and stretching things out, and they'll get their offense set up. And driving the net is Smith, trying to go through, and it was deflected wide.
He was called for stepping in the crease as well, but nice attempt to take it down low.
10 minutes and 50 seconds left to play here in the first period. 3-2 for the Whitby Warriors in Game 1. Game 2 tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and Game 3, if required, on Monday evening, all here at the CAA Center in Brampton.
Brampton, that's
Brampton.
Right.
Played ahead, and a good hit there by Haley. Took down his man, and now it's starting to, get a little more rough. Push with a pretty good shot.
We saw about 4 good hits there.
Play on, McDuff. Nothing going on here. Push. Playing it off. I know when we first started doing games, I said that the rule book for lacrosse was 2 pages thinner than the one used by the World Wrestling Federation. It's pretty close. Lots of action going on in front of each goal. A Bowen shot, and that was flipped wide of the net. A pass for Haley. He'll wait for teammates to come out the front door. 3-2 in favor of the Whitby Warriors here in first period action of Game 1. Patras on the far side. Left-handed shooter. Gets it dished off, gets it back again, loads it up, tries to make a fake, flips it in front of the goal, looking in front of the net for Brock Haley. Just misfired, but they get a return, and time running out quickly. They'll have to get a shot away. They do, but a fairly easy save made by Keegan Malenchuk, and Edmonton will turn the ball back up the floor.
Whitby had 4 righties on the floor there, and Patras was the only lefty, and they were trying to isolate him to get him to go one-on-one, but some good defense.
Bastisti in on goal, and a shot is smothered by Caleb Martin. The goaltending in this tournament has been absolutely outstanding, and these
sure
two
has.
have been excellent. Whitby with the ball and with the lead, 3-2. Littlejohn loads it up and fires it wide of the goal, and Edmonton with the turnover, and now trying to bring it back the other way is Jackson Ganton. Played off on the far side. Looking back for Gauthier. Gauthier trying to get a pass into the crease area, but he was well marked by about 4 Warriors who surrounded him once the ball was even hinted going his way. Gauthier is one of the star forwards for our scorers for the Edmonton Miners. And time runs out on them, and a turnover again. 3-2, Whitby here in the first period of play.
Yeah, Gautier's been really fun to watch. One of the things I love is the way he works so hard for loose balls in the offensive end. And I don't know if he leads a tournament in loose balls, probably does, but definitely offensive loose balls. He's owned them.
Got a nice chat with his dad. His dad is from Quebec City, but lives out in Edmonton, and a shot off the angle. Soroketti gets that in past Malenchuk, and Gabriel Soroketti has got his second goal of the game.
Yeah, Malenchuk will not like this one. Soroketti steps up from the outside, and Malenchuk got a good piece of this. I want to watch this again. And just squeeze in the short side. Yeah, you want to take away that short side, and it looked like he had most of it somehow. Maybe wasn't squeezed over enough.
A 4-2 Whitby lead here with 8 minutes exactly remaining in the first period. And another face-off controlled by Whitby.
Look at this. Oh boy.
Jack Oldman doing a nice job in the face-off dot for the Warriors.
And that was exactly what Donville was talking about. Patras coming from the defensive end. He just didn't handle that pass from Oldman.
Coming off the bench, Soroketti again! And it was knocked away as he was colliding into the goal. Edmonton down a pair, but their resiliency has been on display all tournament long.
Yeah, they were down a pair in the first period against Toronto Beaches, and we saw how that turned out.
Royer trying to get wide, dishes in front for Bowen, the shot scores! Jake Bowen, one of 2 brothers playing for Edmonton. Luke, the younger one, is not in the lineup tonight, but his dad is very much a part of this team. Jamie Bowen is the general manager of the Edmonton Miners.
And you know, on this goal, Joe, I know we're always raving. We're raving about Gauthier. I'm not even sure if he got an assist, but he originally pulls 2 men up high, and that's what sort of created the opening for Bowen. Is 2 guys playing up high on Gauthier. He got rid of the ball, and there might have been a pass or 2 before, but Gauthier is so good at drawing the man, and he's not one of these guys just puts his head down and goes to the net. He does, but he keeps his head up, and he makes the pass. He makes the pass when he gets double team or triple team.
Littlejohn running into a traffic jam on the far side, is able to get out of it. Dempers now trying to set things up, and driving the net, trying to get in is Poitras, and a collision. The net is off its mooring, and a turnover will send the ball back to Edmonton. Down a goal with 6:50 to play in the first period. Harris into the corner again. Edmonton setting up their offense. Gauthier off the bench. Keep an eye on 17, who has it now. Looks to pass. pass, and it was directed for Kalen Harris, but off his stick and into the screen, out of play. Had a nice chat with Jamie Bowen before the game. I complained that he never showed up at any of the family functions.
None of the Bowen family functions.
never shows up at any of the reunions or anything like that.
He stays away from the bad Bowens.
And then I did tell him, though, that I wasn't getting any Father's Day cards from the Bowen boys, so that's good. He's got 3 Bowen boys. Ben, his youngest, doesn't like lacrosse. He's a basketball player.
No.
He's a basketball player. But both the Bowens here have been a very strong part of this team. And the youngster Luke, who's not dressed tonight, has played 3 of the games that they've played and been a big contributor offensively, as Reed is going to wait for the time to expire. And now another turnover for Whitby with 5:47 to play here in the first period. Haley into the far corner. Quatras coming off, trying to look for a man, still with it. Back into the corner as he was taken down. Haley again up top. Now Pfeiffer looking to load it up and scores! Just over the top of the right leg guard and just underneath the glove.
I think of the last 2 shots, outside shots, Malenchuk is guessing here. Watch him lean the wrong way. Now, it may have been the screen where he was trying to look around, but he just moves to his left and the shot goes to the right. He's moving the wrong way. I don't know if he even saw that.
Well,
they've made a change.
Going to get an opportunity to think about it on the bench. Jace Lysenko is now in goal for the Edmonton Miners.
I mean, I think those last 2 goals were just very stoppable goals. Now, that might just be giving him a break here to relax, to think about it. He's not taking his helmet or mask off, so I suspect he will be going back in a few minutes.
Jack Oldman again with another face-off controlled by Whitby, but couldn't contain it or control it. Gauthier running the offense with a pass onto the right wing. Nice feed by Power and a good save made by Caleb Martin. Whitby will counterattack. Haley with the ball. Number 22 loads it up on the new goaltender, and that save is made by Lysenko, who just came into the match.
It's always nerve-wracking, that first shot, for the backup goalie, especially if it's an outside shot.
Ganton taken to the boards. Edmonton controls, down 2 for the second time in the game. This is Harris. Got it off into the wing. Bowen moving to the front, but can't get a pass. And then when the shot is taken, it's into the crease and a turnover, and Whitby has the ball again and a fresh 30 to work with. Pfeiffer working to the front. Pfeiffer with it again, trying to look for a man. Still with it. The give and go didn't work. Still has it. Now off on the wing, the captain with a shot. Good save made by Lysenko, and he may find some more time to play in the net if he keeps stopping balls.
And that's a tough shot by Patras, who scored a number of goals with that bouncer right in front of the goalie, and he tried it there.
On the near side, Bastista dishing it off. Gets it returned. Bowen now works the top. A 5-3 count, and a shot whistles well wide with time running out, and it will be time violated. Haley will wait for the ball to stop rolling and the official to blow it in. No, he won't. He'll just give it off. And Soroketti will start the offense here for Whitby. Budway trying to cut to the front, loads it, then dishes it off, and I think everyone was surprised, but maybe the most surprised in the entire effort was Riley Knox, who got bowled over before the ball even reached him. Edmonton to the attack. Barnes into the corner. Barnes with it again. We've not had a penalty here in the first 17 minutes of this game. We have had some rough stuff and now a bad pass, but a break there for Edmonton, but not much because time has run out. Whitby 5, Edmonton Miners 3. Warriors trying to win another championship. They have won the Minto Cup 7 times. A shot knocked away there by Lysenko. And Edmonton trying to press the attack. Ganton got away from a hit. Dishes it back now for Charlie McFadden. McFadden will work down to some open floor. Gives it back. Gauthier to Bowen, who goes to the front. Gauthier is there as well as it comes back, in the shot by Charlie McFadden finds the back of the net. And Edmonton is again within 1.
I was just about to say how excellent Whitby's defense had been the last 5 or 6 minutes. And they don't do anything wrong here. This is just good ball movement and then a good shot by McFadden. It's not like he's wide open. It's not like he's inside. He catches the ball, takes a step, and takes a shot, and just kind of like what I described earlier. You know, the goalie's moving one way, the shot goes back to where he came from. It's tough to save it. And I don't think you got to blame anybody in that one. Sometimes it happens.
Point Jack Oldham does a great job in that face-off circle. He is down. And Barnes has really had a difficult time. Now they get a turnover here to get the ball back, but Whitby has won virtually every face-off.
We've seen how important they can be at times. They've got a couple of goals off the face-offs.
Turnover here or not, won't matter. It's going to be over and back.
But again, that's Captain Patras playing on defense, causing a turnover, almost a breakaway.
Oldman goes to the bench. Budway, Jack Budway dishes off on the far side. Patras going to the front of the net, and the ball was knocked away just before it reached him. And now a shot is smothered by Lysenko and held. And he has been excellent since taking over for Keegan Malenchuk, who surrendered all 5 Whitby goals. It's a 5-4 game now. Errant pass, another turnover, Whitby to the attack. White giving it back to Haley. Haley will slow things down. The rest of the offense comes over the boards, and Haley with it now holding. Got a low shot away. That deflects wide, goes over, and now a race for the ball out of the back door, and quickly coming onto it was Jacob Power, but he didn't get a chance.
He thought about it. I thought he maybe had room.
Now a long shot from well out, taken there by Marcus Needham.
Yeah, they wanted to take that shot before there was 30 seconds, down to the last 30 seconds. So this way, Whitby now has the ball. They can't afford to take their goalie out because there'll still be time left when the shot clock expires.
So good communication by the coaching staff and the players.
Absolutely.
Yep. Edmonton Miners coached by John Lintz. Here's Patras to Haley. Dish back, 6 seconds left. Trying to drive the net, and there is the time violation with 3 seconds left to play. And
they're not going to, I don't think they're calling a timeout. No, they're not. Not enough time to run a good play, but at least they ensured that Whitby couldn't pull their goalie themselves.
An entertaining first period of play. And the Whitby Warriors will carry a 5-4 lead to the dressing room after the first 20 minutes. Now we've got, my very good buddy, Paul Hendrick. Paul, take it away.
Joe and Shani, thanks very much, Sean. It's been a track meet, the opening period here tonight. You had some concerns after the first game, despite the win over this Edmonton team, that your club was capable of playing better lacrosse. Your concerns this period, what you've been happy about so far?
Yeah, I love our tempo. We had a couple just a little lapses on defense, but credit to them. They're a great team, and we knew that was going to be the case. And I love the way both teams play. It's up and down. It's fast across. It's entertaining. It's mano a mano. Let's go.
5 goals for your club so far. Adam Poitras not on the board. However, how important is he away from the ball and what he's able to do defensively to get you set up? Absolutely. You look at all the attention he gets there. They're giving him a hard time down there, but he just keeps on going, and he just creates a lot of space for people. And Gabe starts
Keddy's been lucky enough to be on the other end of some help from Patra, and he buried a couple for us.
Before we let you go, in a nutshell, what do you want to see from your kids in the middle frame?
Yeah, just don't take our foot off the gas.
There you go. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
5-3, Sean Williams and his team from Whitby looking for their first Minto Cup dating back to 2011. Of course, they're going to have to win 2 games against a very stubborn team from Edmonton as we look forward to more lacrosse here in Brampton in just a moment.
On our family dairy farm, there's a saying that the sun doesn't start the day, we do. It's our daily reminder to be our best, make our best, and that our dairy farm doesn't just take care of our family, it's part of something bigger. That's dairy done right.
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
The Minto Cup is awarded annually to the Canadian Men's Box Junior Champions of Canada. But did you also know that the Minto Cup is one of the oldest trophies in the history of Canadian sports? The Minto Cup was originally donated in 1901 by the 4th Earl of Minto. The championship was restricted to amateur athletes, but soon enough, under-the-table professional teams were making their run for the cup. There were countless efforts to restrict the Minto Cup to only amateur athletes, but after 1904, this cup was up for grabs for all who chose to compete for it. They then decided that in 1910, the Man Cup would be given to the champions of the Amateur League, and the Minto would still be awarded to the winners of the Professional League. Finally, in 1924, when the Coast Professional League folded, the Minto Cup was placed into storage. After 12 long years of inactivity, the Canadian Lacrosse Association decided to revive the Minto Cup Championship, but this time award it to the Junior Champions of Canada. However, they did face a hurdle as they could not find where the Minto Cup trophy was kept. So stay tuned for more on the history of the Minto Cup.
Stop me if you've heard this one before, but we got ourselves a tight game here at the 2022 Minto Cup. Matthew Carrick back upstairs here with Jonathan Donville after that first period. 5-4 in favor of the Whitby Warriors. 1 goal game 3 different times throughout that period, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's been as tight as we expected it to be, as tight as it's been all tournament. And I think it was big for Edmonton to come out and get that first goal so quickly, settle themselves down, show obviously they belong. And that was big, and it kind of carried them through that first period. Obviously, still not having the lead, but right in this game.
At 1.3 goals in 21 seconds, including back-to-back for the Whitby Warriors off the face-off stick of Jack Oldman. There's Brock Haley again. He had 4 points in that first period.
Yeah, if you're Edmonton, you got to really think about going as conservative as possible on these faceoffs. They just can't allow any offense. Whitby's so effective. Obviously, Oldman's been the best faceoff guy throughout this tournament. And then Poitras, Haley, Littlejohn, and Darlison all on the faceoff unit. They're looking to fly. And again, as we mentioned in the first period, Poitras playing on the defensive side of the faceoff, very unusual, but it gives them such an advantage that they can really fly. Look for Edmonton. I think they just have to give up some of these loose balls and just keep this game at 5-on-5. When it's at 5-on-5, they've had a lot of success.
We talked off the start of the show about Matthew Gauthier and Brock Haley and how good they are, but the question then becomes who else is going to step up, because Poitras Soroketti has 2 goals in that first period. You know Littlejohn's going to get his. Parker Pfeiffer with a goal. The question is on the other side for the Miners, because in their win against the Shamrocks, 4 goals for Davis Dame. Gauthier himself had 4 points, 4 for Bowen, 4 for Royer. Now it's about the rest of the Miners' offense kind of catching up to what Gauthier's been doing in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Secondary scoring is imperative at this level. I think Royer's been outstanding. He's really kind of found his legs as this tournament's gone on. Someone to look out for in the second period, Jacob Power, number 4 out there for Edmonton. He's been super aggressive. I think he's scored 3 goals already in this tournament. He's a defensive player, but in the second period, he'll be on the side away from the benches. He's been super aggressive, looking to get his own shot, and he's had some success with it. Look for Power, and on the flip side, look for Jake Darlison to really impose himself on this game. He's been outstanding in this tournament. A left-handed shot for Whitby, so same thing, playing away from the benches. He's normally super aggressive on this side of the floor. Darlison, Tapper, and Poitras going back. Look for those lefties to be super aggressive for Whitby, and Power, among others, to be aggressive for Edmonton.
I'm glad you said Power. He had 4 just wide open breakaways last night, 2 nights ago in the semifinal to get here. Capitalized on 2 of them, including one of the best cell leads we've seen so far in this tournament. The horn is gone, and we'll be back with teams on the floor and with Joe Bowen and Brian Shanahan in the booth. Paul Hendrick downstairs. For Jonathan Donville, I'm Matthew Carrick. Sending it to break, it's 5-4 for the Warriors here after 1 period in the first game of the Minto Cup Finals.
Welcome back to Brampton, Game 1 of the Minto Cup Lacrosse Championship. Of course, emblematic of junior lacrosse supremacy in Canada. With me, John Lintz, the head coach of the Edmonton Miners. Just talking with Sean Williams, what a track meet here in the opening half, but you've always talked about how much depth you've got in your team. Does that include goaltending, and might we continue to see what you did in the second period with the change following the rough start for your starter here this evening?
Yeah, we have a ton of confidence in both guys, in Keegan and in Jace Lysenko. So Jace is going to start, and we'll see how he goes at the start of the period here. Our team has to do a better job of managing the ball in transition, and if we do that, I think we'll have more success here.
How important is limited time and space in establishing what you guys like to do in transition by getting the job done inside your own zone?
Yeah, it's our defense training the ball up, but it's also our offense working to get to spots and making sure that we keep the ball moving. If we can do that, there'll be lanes open and we'll be able to capitalize off of it.
Mood of the guys inside the room, and what did you have to tell them in short?
Yeah, it's positive. They got a lot of energy. I think we're going to have a better period here.
All right, John, thank you.
Thank you.
John Lintz, head coach of Edmonton. Joe, Shanny, back up to you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Well, it is A 5-4 lead that the Whitby Warriors will carry into the second period. And through all of this, Adam Poitras has been fairly quiet.
Yeah,
which is a frightening thing, or we're really doing a real good job on him.
When you talk to the coaches, and I talk to some of the coaches from Edmonton, they're not trying to shut these guys down like Poitras and Haley. They're trying to minimize the damage. So obviously, great job on Poitras so far. He's had a few good shots, but Haley's got a goal, 3 assists. This might be a breakthrough night for him. But I think the key so far is what we're talking about earlier, transition and broken plays. Whitby is so good on unsettled situations, turning them into offensive chances. They've scored off the face-off, off the turnovers, and that's what I believe Edmonton's got to minimize.
Edmonton is here after winning the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League. Whitby probably wasn't a favorite to be here when the playoffs started in Ontario.
Well, honestly, the end of the regular season in Ontario, Whitby finished in 3rd place. You could have probably picked about 5 teams that could represent Ontario in the Minto Cup. So it's a battle just to get here. But I'd say Whitby was always among the favorites. Anytime you have a guy who scores 74 goals, and then he's not the captain. Poitras is, I'd say, just as good. You got a 1-2 punch.
Couple of good saves made there by Lysenko, who has taken over for Keegan Malenchuk and played exceptionally well here and keeping things under control and allowing Edmonton to get back to within 1.
And how do you not keep Lysenko in? I mean, the guy, he's not allowed a goal since he's come in. I think they fully intended that it would probably be a short break, but he's played so well, you got to keep him in for now.
Edmonton, Bowen with the ball. Near side, Royer. Back looking for Bowen again, and a dot. Save made there on a good play by Caleb Martin. Another shot, and Martin was able to extend an arm and get a piece of his body in front of that.
And Martin has played extremely well. That's I think an even tougher save than it looked like. That pass came across the floor, quickly made the big save, made the save off the rebound. He's played fantastic so far.
Gauthier with the turnover at center, and now Edmonton with the ball and trying to get the equalizer. Pass to the far side, and a whipping shot by Bowen was kicked aside by Martin. Edmonton battling in the corner. White trying to control his man and slashed the ball out of his stick, but then couldn't come up with it. Time a factor, 18 seconds left in this possession, and Edmonton will get a fresh 30 after that shot.
Well, what they're going up against now is a tired defense.
Royer with a shot into the glove, out of the glove, but still within the crease to allow Whitby to get some fresh legs out there.
A very good offensive shift by Edmonton, and that's responding after a good one from Whitby.
Ronan Push was running out of legs there. He got the ball into possession for the offense. A shot by Poitras. That was stopped on the short side by Lysenko. Poitras trying to come off a loose ball into the corner. Double teamed in there, and the goalkeeper is going to scoop it back within the crease.
Yeah, and where we're sitting, Joe, and we got a good angle, just like the viewers at home on that shot by Poitras. You saw him try to squeeze that in the short side.
Edmonton with the attack. Needham going to the front of the net, but the ball comes back out top. A wired shot there by Harris is swallowed up by Caleb Martin.
I don't think Harris noticed he had a man wide open in the crease, but Sisti was standing there with his stick up waiting for it.
Pass in front of the goal. Another good save made by Lysenko. And he has been a big part of the story of this first 2 periods, coming on in relief of Keegan Malenchuk and not giving up a goal.
Yeah, that was a really good save on Pfeiffer. And Pfeiffer, the way he had that, he kind of went to the backhand. It's a tricky play when you're not sure if he's going to bring it over to the forehand or the backhand, and well played by Lysenko.
Adam Poitras giving it off to Tapper. Played off by Budway. Pass back. Another shot blocked there, and a good block. Soroketti tried to get a shot away, and now a scramble, and the ball is turned over. Ganton trying to take it to the net. Can't get it over the shoulder.
Oh, man.
He had a lot of time, didn't he?
I'll tell you, I wanted to see Ganton score that goal because it was such a brilliant effort at center floor to cause that turnover and pick it up on the breakaway. He deserved a goal on that effort.
Soroketti dropping it off and heading to the Whitby bench. Into the corner it goes. Dished off once more by Haley. Now Poitras loading it up. Nope, trying to work inside. Now gets the shot away! And the captain gets his first goal as it just trickled in behind Lysenko. And Whitby extends its lead once again to 6-4 to a 2-goal lead. The first goal scored here in the second frame.
And you felt like it's just a matter of time that Poitras is going to put one in. And again, they isolate. Look, there's no one else around. This is one-on-one. The other man standing behind the net. He's too dangerous, to cover one-on-one. He's got a great outside shot. He threatens to come deep and eventually gets that shot away that squeezes in. I think Edmonton's got to figure out a different way to defend it when Poitras decides to isolate his man.
Another face-off win by Jack Oldman. Now Wallace trying to get it into the slot, and a whistle here and a turnover. And we've got a slow recuperating captain of the Edmonton Miners heading back to the bench. Let's go down to Jonathan once more.
Guys, one of the reasons Poitras had so much space there is they went with one lefty and 4 right-handed shots on that possession. Something Edmonton's actually done themselves throughout this tournament. Thought Beaches and Victoria might have had a little bit of success if they went to that, especially with Poitras, such a dynamic player. They just put 4 righties, and he's got so much space to see the floor.
Great opportunity there for Haley, but he shot wide.
Yeah, Jonathan, that's the second time I've noticed them doing that, and I don't know if it's just the overabundance of righties versus lefties or if they just want to give him the room, but I mean, it's worked.
Pass near side, Jacob Power. Long shot, block, bouncing into the corner. Power with it again, can't get around the checking. Good job done by Reed in front. Another shot, this time knocked away by Caleb Martin. Had thoughts of going into the corner after it, but his teammates will come away with the ball. 14:20 to go in the second period, and a 2-goal lead for the Warriors, 6-4. Third time they've had a 2-goal advantage in this contest. Bouncing shot wide of Lysenko's cage. Whitby again with a fresh 30 though. Soroketti got away from one, into the slot, and a low drive. And it is a 3-goal lead for the Warriors here with 13:49 left in the period.
And it's the hat trick for Soroketti. He's going to come up high this time. Poitras brings his man low. Again, it's almost similar to Poitras. They're trying to bring all the guys away, and he gets a little bit of room to play some one-on-one, and as soon as he gets some space, when that stick check was there, he got a little bit of space. Connor Cook made a stick check, gave him that room to take the shot and put it in.
7-4. And once again, it's the Warriors winning the faceoff. Reese Barnes has really had a difficult time matching up with Jack Oldman in the faceoff area.
Jack Oldman's been fantastic on the faceoffs.
They've had possession virtually in every faceoff, and as you mentioned, they'd scored a couple of goals off those faceoff wins. And here's a pass again as they have possession, and this time it whistles wide. Bounding ball with 3 seconds left in the shot clock. Long shot. That deflects and goes out of play. Miners ball. Down 7-4. trying to win for the very first time the Minto Cup. Bowen works into the corner. Jake Bowen gets it back into the slot area. Now Needham trying to take it to the net, and he shot it high and wide. Paid a price for it, getting into the crease. Another shot whistles wide of the net by Bastis. Kept alive again by Jack Royer. Far side, back in front, trying to get the shot away, Needham, and it was blocked. 22 seconds left to go. Whitby bench improving and enjoying the defensive effort of the 5 out there in front of the goalkeeper. Another shot, good save made by Martin. Ball still free, Martin with a save. Turnover again, Whitby with the ball.
And Martin's playing very confident. He's coming out to take away the outside shots. He's not giving them anything on those. And you can play that when you know your defense is taking away all the backdoor opportunities.
Poitras again. Tried to find a man late, and then a shot taken by Littlejohn was swallowed up by Jace Lysenko. Edmonton in need of getting a goal to get some momentum going offensively, and the last number of trips down have proven to be a difficult situation. A pass in front. Oh, what a great save made by Martin there.
That was an excellent save, although I think we will get the first power play in the game, and it's going to go to Edmonton.
And I believe it's Scott Reed coming to the penalty box.
Watch this replay on the crease. I think it's Pasisti gets open, the pass. I was actually surprised that pass got through, and goaltender Caleb Martin read that play and came over and stopped it.
Scott Reed's dad, Chris, worked with us at Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment.
Oh, excellent.
Jonathan, what have you got?
Guys, something to watch in this game. Edmonton is incredibly physical on offense. Gauthier is the leader in that, in that sense. But they're very, very physical. They make life really hard on the defense, and they get a lot of repeat loose balls. So a lot of long possessions here. And just watch them in the next 5-on-5. They're so physical, really doing a good job of setting off-ball up picks, trying to get through the middle. That's where a majority of their goals come from. It allows them to set up their offense, and it really just wears down this defense. Normally we think of physicality as a defensive thing, not this team. Edmonton's trying to impose their will offensively.
First power play for either team as Reed is in the box.
And it'll be interesting to see what Whitby does and how they adjust, because Edmonton's power play was fantastic against Toronto, and they've scored all kinds of ways. They're scoring the outside shots, they're scoring on the crease, and they sometimes sneak the man right in the middle. They don't mind sticking that man right in there and taking the punishment to put it in.
Now Poitras and Reed, or at least Haley, have scored shorthanded goals for Whitby in the 3 games that they played. There's a shot swallowed up by Lysenko. And the Warriors with a lead pass, and right onto the stick of Tapper, in, scores! Holy Mackinac, shorthanded goal, and it's 8-4.
Sometimes you're good and sometimes you're lucky. And this was a deflection pass. And Pfeiffer watches the ball comes up. The man is covered, can only get a piece of it, just deflects it. Oh my gosh. And Pfeiffer puts on a fake and finishes it with a twister. Oh, sorry, that's Owen Tapper.
Tapper, yep.
Tapper scores a beautiful after the ball was tapped up to him.
Nice play. Owen Tapper with the short-handed goal. And Whitby with an 8-4 lead, the largest lead that they've had in this tournament.
That's surprising. A team that went undefeated, but that just shows how close this tournament has been, how close the games have been. The team is undefeated, and a 4-goal lead is their biggest lead.
And now Edmonton needs to score on the power play just to even things up. And a long shot doesn't make it through the traffic in front, and Whitby is countering again. A lead pass trying to find Adam Poitras, and that deflected wide. Again, Poitras playing defense and penalty killing, and like you mentioned it, Shanny, a lot of these guys are playing both ends of the floor.
Yeah, you know, it's great when you're a coach and you have guys that can do it. I give Sean Williams credit for using the players that way, but not every goal scorer can play defense. Not every goal scorer can play on the short man. But obviously Whitby has a few that can, and it's so beneficial when you have a guy like Poitras out there.
Needham with the ball, getting it back now. Flips it twice, still with it. Third time, back it goes to Royer. Far side, looking in front of the net, back to Royer. Behind the back pass, doesn't work. Royer again, short side, off the crossbar. Martin played that extraordinarily well, got over there and really took away most of the net. And now 26 seconds left to go as the penalty expires to Reed. 26 seconds left in the shot clock. So 0 for 1 and a shot diving into the crease, though. The goal will not count. And the turnover goes to Whitby.
Yeah, I think his foot just stepped in before he made that last dive.
Get a look.
Well, we're going to see.
Picture in picture to see it.
Oh, that was the earlier one on the power play, the crease shot off the post.
Poitras again to the net, tried to go.
Oh, that was a nice little
bit
play.
of a backdoor play there. And 8-4 as we're 9 minutes left to play here in the second period. Glad you're along with us from the CAA Center in Brampton. The Minto Cup, one of the longest serving championships that has been held in this country. There are junior age players. And here's Edmonton with a lead pass looking for Kylan Harris. Harris trying to come out of the corner. Now they'll set things up. Royer along with Power. Royer drops it off on the far side. Bowen trying to go to the front of the net, and the ball comes to him, but he can't get a shot away, but is able to recover it. Pass there by Royer didn't work. Goaltender Martin has the ball and has things under control for Whitby. 8-4. Hansard on the far side. And a whipping shot taken by Haley. And another turnover here for Edmonton.
You know, one of the things that's been impressive about Edmonton this tournament is their composure. I think this is maybe their biggest challenge, being down 4 goals at this point in the game.
But things come in streaks. Needham with a shot. Down is Martin. His knees feel a lot better than mine to be able to do that. Thanks very much for asking.
Well speaking as goaltenders, right?
Yeah. Ooh, ow. Poitras getting it back. Budway trying to find a man in front, and a turnover after a shot. And it will be Edmonton bringing the ball back up the floor. Needham.
And a big reason Edmonton has not scored in this period 13 minutes in is because of the play of Caleb Martin.
Working the outside once more. Near for Needham. A pass into the slot, off of the stick. Grabbed off by Gauthier. A shot from an angle, but really a desperation shot. And all of the time that they're trying to get things set up, they're not getting a real good look. Jonathan, what do you see down there?
Guys, I'm not sure if you can hear it up there, but you hear the Whitby bench saying too low or too anchored quite a bit. I think the idea there is trying to get allow nothing underneath defensively, force everything from the corners up. Yeah, I think the idea is they don't feel like the outside shots are as much of a threat. Try to make these guys shooters instead of A, dodgers underneath, and B, those passes through the middle, have guys low to be able to step up to those. But certainly want to take away the low first and then force Edmonton into the higher areas of the zone.
They've certainly taken away the good scoring chances. There's no question about that. They played exceptionally well defensively.
And it seems like a solid strategy with the way Caleb Martin has played on the outside shots this game.
Back in the slot, Power.
Well, we jinxed him.
A long shot that finds its way through. And a much-needed goal for the Edmonton Miners to make it 8-5.
Well, that's what can happen, but you're giving them, taking away the low stuff. You're giving them the outside shots, and I still think that is a good strategy because Caleb Martin, as I said when I was jinxing him, is not letting anything in from the outside. But this time, Power just gets a shot. I guess if you get enough outside shots, eventually some of them got to drop.
Did that go off of?
I don't think it
McDonald in front?
I don't think so.
No, maybe not. It may have. He may have provided a bit of a screen. I don't know if Caleb Martin saw it all the way, but
much needed goal.
Sure was. So let's see how this works out.
There's a face-off win for.
Yes,
Edmonton.
and it was Ronan Push who took the draw. So maybe some changes being made in that department. McFadden getting the ball back, and Edmonton trying to get a little momentum going here. Needham, a pass in tight. Good save made by Martin again. Whitby will counter and bring it back. Darlison heading to the bench after dropping it off. Whitby into the offense. Near side for Poitras. Poitras trying to work to the middle, doesn't shoot it. And then when it is shot, fairly easy save made there by Jace Lysenko. An 8-5 lead, and now a turnover on a bad pass there by Matthew McFadden. That was knocked out of the air.
Soroketti, who's had a great game of hat trick. That was him who got his stick in the way. Whitby's actually been really good at having their sticks active, mostly in the defensive end, but there it's in the neutral end.
Warriors to the attack. Trying to drive in there was Littlejohn. That didn't result in a scoring play, but this does, and a good shot and a good save made by Lysenko. And then overrunning the ball was McFadden, but no damage done. Edmonton able to carry on. Bank pass, and there'll be some pressure here. Royer feeling the pressure and the heat, trying to get away from the checking of Ben McDonald. Back into the corner, and a pass to the near side was just out of the reach of Jack Royer. Royer again, nice feed into the slot area, but Harris couldn't handle the pass cleanly, and the ball rolls harmlessly into the crease where it is covered with 4:02 left to play in the second period.
Pretty aggressive shift by Whitby defensively. They went out and chased the ball, and they did a great job.
Miners get a turnover. Shivers getting it into the offensive area and heading to the bench. John Lintz, Ben Snyder, Rick Laughlin, and Brad McFadden, the coaching staff of the Edmonton Miners, into their very first shot. Scores! Bowen, no, they're going to wave it off.
Oh boy, I thought that went in. And it's even funnier, the Whitby player just went and fished it out of the net.
A disbelieving bench on the far side. And John Lintz has got a few comments for the officials as they come by.
I don't really blame him. It seemed like evidence when the Whitby player reached deep into the net to take it out.
I'm sure we'll get another look at that. Now a turnover here on a nice steal. Brought back by Push. Trying to look for a man in front. And now set it up. Pass into the corner. Comes back into the slot. No shot yet. 8-5 the score. And now whistling drive went wide. The rebound not sent to the net. Back out front of the goal once more. 2 seconds left in the shot clock. And it's going to be turned over, and Whitby will press the attack here. 2:20 left in the second period, a period that has been dominated by the Whitby Warriors.
There was a couple plays there I was shocked that Edmonton never took the outside shot. They just scored recently on one.
Poitras with a shot that is easily stopped by Lysenko. He took over for Keegan Malenchuk midway through the first period and has played very, very well. Malenchuk gave up the first 5 goals. Crowd getting into it as the pass into the goal crease area. Knocked down there was Tapper. And they're going to turn the ball over, and Bowen will take it into the corner for Edmonton.
Good play by Bowen. He knocked the man into his crease. You can't bring the ball back into your own crease, and even if you're pushed in. Great play by Bowen to push him in.
Shot there by Bowen that was stopped by Martin. And a lead pass finds Poitras, taking the ball back into Edmonton territory. 1:27 left to play here in the second period. Joe Bowen along with Brendan Shanahan, Paul Hendrick, and a cast of thousands.
You just call me Brian Shanahan.
Did I just? Oh, it's all right. I called your brother Brian when I first introduced him.
Don't worry. I've made my share of mistakes with dignitaries too.
Oh, that's right. Forgot the press conference. How's the mayor doing anyway?
Yeah, he's a great mayor, Patrick Brown.
Yep. Bouncing ball controlled here by Whitby. Soroketti feeling the pressure but is able to hang on to it. And now makes a bounce pass, and now going to the bench is Darlison has a chance in front. Stop there.
Second save was better than the first.
And now a turnover again. And a third save is a dandy.
Oh my
Jace
gosh.
Lysenko making a couple of big saves.
Parker Pfeiffer 3 glorious scoring chances within about 10 seconds.
25 seconds left, 21 on the clock.
This time they'll call
timeout called now.
Oh my gosh, Lysenko made some fantastic saves.
That was quite a scramble in front of the Edmonton goal, and we may be able to look back on that little flurry as Lysenko made a couple of huge saves on the turnovers right in front of him.
Yeah, and this is the one earlier on that we thought might have gone in. Now, I think it went in.
Well,
now also the key is the ball's got to be in the net. Oh, this is a nice save we just saw off Pfeiffer. And then I did think he stole the ball again. Yeah,
yep.
Are we going to see
right
it?
Here.
Oh,
yep.
yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
he did.
Beautiful play, persistent. I love his game.
It's sort of a giveaway when the goal scorer seems to think it's in and raises his stick, and he's the closest one to the entire operation. So I would agree with you. I mean, we didn't get a real good angle there to.
Well, the thing is, I could see if it was a crease call. Like this is the Edmonton chance we're talking about, but it wasn't called crease. I think the referee just said it didn't go in, and yeah, it sure looked like it did on the replay end. And when Whitby was fishing it out. I love the way Whitby just fished it out quickly and threw it up the floor.
Hey,
nothing to see here. Don't look here.
Nothing going on here.
Yeah.
15 seconds left. Looking for the last shot. 9 on the shot clock, so there will be time left. Shot goes off a body and out of play.
No, they'll get one more
chance. But they'll get another crack at it here because there's return to the shot clock, and there is a save to end the period from Caleb Martin, who had a solid second period. And the Whitby Warriors did an excellent job of controlling the play, doing well defensively, and will carry a 3-goal lead into the third period. Paul Hendrick getting set down below. Let's send it to him. Go ahead, Paul.
Eddie with the hat trick in tonight's game, and we look at the club that you get to play on, and there's some names: Poitras, Haley, Pfeiffer. What's the key as a team concept for you to come in and help out and just balance what this team's able to do on most nights?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we have a great group of guys on the offensive end, and you said it, Poitras, Pfeiffer, Haley. They've been doing everything that they can for this entire series. So being able to, get a quick couple 3, help my team get up in the Minto Cup finals is great.
Does the tempo and pace begin with Caleb Martin and net and what it means in terms of providing confidence to you guys out in front?
Absolutely. I mean, he's standing on his head out here. He's making some key saves, getting the ball out of his stick early. We're able to push transition pretty fast, and we've gotten a couple goals right off the transition.
Not everybody gets to attend high school in Indiana. Culver Military Academy, you do. How important has the last 3 years been for you in terms of discipline, not only being better as a person, a student, but as a lacrosse player as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so lucky that I'm able to surround myself with a great group of people at Culver. I mean, Culver's taught me most, if not all, of the things I put into my game today, and I owe it all to those guys, the coaching staff, everything there. It just really pushed us, the whole team, to do as best as we can every day.
Yeah, the most polished and best polished set of shoes here on the floor. That's thanks to Culver. Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Gabriel Soroketti. Score after 2 periods of play, and what a second middle frame it was for the team from Whitby. 8-5 after 20 minutes. Our intermission will continue from the CAA Center in Brampton in just a moment.
On our family dairy farm, there's a saying that the sun doesn't start the day, we do. It's our daily reminder to be our best, make our best, and that our dairy farm doesn't just take care of our family, it's part of something bigger. That's dairy done right.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
The Minto Cup is awarded annually to the Canadian Men's Box Junior Champions of Canada. But did you also know that the Minto Cup is one of the oldest trophies in the history of Canadian sports? The Minto Cup was originally donated in 1901 by the 4th Earl of Minto. The championship was restricted to amateur athletes, but soon enough, under-the-table professional teams were making their run for the cup. There were countless efforts to restrict the Minto Cup to only amateur athletes, but after 1904, this cup was up for grabs for all who chose to compete for it. They then decided that in 1910, the Man Cup would be given to the champions of the Amateur League, and the Minto would still be awarded to the winners of the Professional League. Finally, in 1924, when the Coast Professional League folded, the Minto Cup was placed into storage. After 12 long years of inactivity, the Canadian Lacrosse Association decided to revive the Minto Cup Championship, but this time award it to the Junior Champions of Canada. However, they did face a hurdle as they could not find where the Minto Cup trophy was kept. So stay tuned for more on the history of the Minto Cup.
Welcome back to the 2022 Minto Cup here at the CAA Center in Brampton, where we got our first Holy Mackinac out of the way in that period. Only 4 goals to speak of, but one of them was a dandy off the stick of Parker Pfeiffer, I believe.
Yeah, some really nice goals there for Whitby, and a pretty comfortable 3-goal lead here. I think when they got up 8-4, Joe mentioned that's the biggest lead they've had in this tournament. That's a pretty insane statistic for a team who went undefeated in the round robin, but still it's got to feel nice to have a little bit of a buffer here going into the third period.
Back to 3 goals for the second time in this game, and here's how we got there. It starts with on the run from, I believe that was Patras up top, and Soroketti. What a game for him. You heard him talk to Paul Hendrick before he came into this break.
Yeah, 2 things you'll notice on a lot of these goals. Obviously the transition goals are a little bit different, but being aggressive with the ball, dodging, and being aggressive getting to the middle of the floor. Patras did it, Soroketti did it. Edmonton takes away so much. They play such good team defense. Sometimes you got to just isolate guys and get to the goal. The players are doing a nice job being aggressive, looking for their own shot. Not always an intuitive move for a lot of box players who would rather kind of get the ball moving, looking for their own shot and getting more angle to increase their likelihood of scoring.
And the highlight goal of that period was a shorthanded marker from Owen Tapper. Part of the reason for those 4 goals are the goaltenders, and we wanted to actually highlight Jay Symington-Lysenko. Comes in for the second time in this tournament, did it against the Beaches on Tuesday night as well.
Yeah, he's been really outstanding in both of his appearances here. And as I mentioned a few times, Whitby really bases their offense outside, inside. It starts at outside. If you can't hold up as a goaltender against the outside shot of Haley, Pfeiffer, especially, and also Poitras, but really Haley especially, it sets up everything else they do. So more than I think even other teams, defending Whitby really does start in the goal because they do so well. Things that you basically can't take away. You can't stop teams from shooting outside, completely. So you really got to start in the goal. And Symington-Lysenko's been outstanding. Again, had 2 appearances in this tournament. Not easy to come in when you don't know when your time's coming, but he's been great both times, and it's been huge for Edmonton, rather. And you can tell that the team and the coaches have a lot of confidence in him when he's in there.
John Lintz did tell us that when he replaced him in that Beaches game, it wasn't necessarily the fact that Melnichuk had done anything wrong or was making saves that saw him. He wasn't on that night. Of course, he was coming off a 68 save performance in the opening game of this tournament, was Melnichuk. But it's that he's got that confidence in Jay Symington-Lysenko and that he can come in. But the counter to that is the bounce back effect that Melnichuk also has, which we saw coming into the semifinal.
Yeah, a little bit of fresh legs too, so we'll keep an eye on that. Going into tomorrow, let them reset physically and mentally. Remember, this Edmonton team played 4 games and Whitby only played 3, so the extra off day is kind of a 2-for-1. It's 1 more off day and 1 less game for Whitby. So obviously some fresher legs for Whitby. Maybe an IT tomorrow. Melnichuk going back in there with some fresher legs, but definitely what an asset to this team. And something Whitby's actually done all year too, with 2 goalies that they trust who have played a lot in big moments. Just so crucial for this team. And it really lets you stop runs and stop games from getting away from you.
You mentioned Jacob Power in that first intermission. He gets himself a goal here in period number 2 to make it 8-5. Does that give them momentum? I know the 3 saves right at the horn there as well. I mean, they're going to be man down to start this period. If they can kill it off, you got to think the ball's back in the minors' court.
Absolutely. And this is a team that really hasn't had their confidence shaken all tournament, even with a few tough losses. They really do a good job of riding the wave and not getting too high, too low. So look for them to be confident. The problem for Edmonton is I think they're better 5-on-5 here than Whitby is, but they need to speed this game up. Obviously, down 3 goals. It's not time to panic yet, but scoring's been tough. They need to find a way to score goals. Problem is when you open it up against this Whitby team, you let Haley and Poitras start getting out in transition, Garlis and Tapper, all these other guys. It can be really tough to defend. So kind of a rock and a hard place here for Edmonton going into the 3rd.
Well, it's been a team that has never had any quit in them. It's a gritty team. It is a pesky team, as Pat Gregoire has been calling them all week long. We'll see what they've got. Coming into the 3rd period, down by 3, they'll start shorthanded. When we come back, Joe Bowen and Ryan Shanahan with the call of the 3rd period.
Welcome bench side here at the CAA Center in Brampton. Third period and a big one coming up for the guys from Edmonton. Jacob Power, lone goal for Edmonton in the middle frame. Just goes to prove, get the shots on net and you never know.
Yeah, you know, we played a little less righties today for the second period, just for me to play some reverse transition. And I'm just in there. I'm just there to run around, bang bodies. And I got an open shot, and you know we got to start taking shots. We got to get them to fall. So that's how I just needed to do it.
This club's competed the entire tournament. What was the message in the dressing room from Coach Linser as you guys get prepared for a huge 20?
You know, we just got to work hard. Like, we're not going away. We're here for 60 minutes. We're gonna die on the floor. We're gonna do everything we can. We're not letting it slip out of our hands. We're here to the end. We're not gonna leave anything behind. If we, in the end, we don't get it, we can say we did our hardest.
All right, just one game here tonight in a big period. The Pride of Stony Plain, Alberta. Let's send it back up to Joe and Brian. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Paul. Well, at the end of the period.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see it. It's after the play. Don't do this right in front of the ref. And there was maybe a little bit of embellishing as well, just to make sure the referee saw that stick hit him in the face. But a power play for Whitby. That's Marcus Needham that put the stick up high.
First power play opportunity for Whitby. They scored a shorthanded goal on the only other power play opportunity, which went to Edmonton in the second period. And a shot right off the mask of Lysenko.
Shots were actually 18-17 for the Miners that period, Joe, even though they were outscored 3-1. Overall shots 33-29 for Whitby, probably 34, I guess, right now.
Haley doesn't get the shot away. Poitras into the corner, gets it returned. Haley again up top, and Poitras playing catch. Poitras thinks about going to the net, got the pass in. Good chance there by Littlejohn, and they score. A rebound off of a shot by Littlejohn, and now it's a 4-goal lead on a power play goal.
You know, we talk about the big guys, you know, Poitras and Haley, but Pfeiffer, Littlejohn, Soroketti, these guys can score on their opportunities, and they're just, Pfeiffer's a great opportunist. Watch, just a rebound comes to the right spot, goaltender's looking the wrong way. It's the weirdest bounce off the shot. I think it went off shoulder, off pipe, right into Pfeiffer's stick, and smart enough to really put it in off the goalie's equipment.
Being in the right spot at the right time. And a big goal. Edmonton was hoping to maybe get a little momentum going, but the power play at the and the penalty taken at the end of the second period has proved to be rather disastrous here for Edmonton, who now have a 4-goal hole to try and dig themselves out of. Miners to the attack. Double teamed, spinning out of it nicely. Gauthier got it back into the slot. Returned to Gauthier in the corner. Back into the corner. Gauthier trying to run a pick here for a teammate. Bastista couldn't get a shot. Then when he did, it was easily stopped by Martin. Played up ahead by McDonald. Brought to the line. And Whitby will try to organize here with Budway. Third period of game 1. Game 2 is tomorrow night. Shot from outside, scores. And that was a bullet by Haley. But a dagger possibility there too, as it's now a 5-goal lead.
And that's Brock Haley showing us why he could score 74 goals in the OLA this season in just 16 games. Just an outside shot. He's on his wrong side, but as we keep hearing over and over, the great shooters, it doesn't matter if they're on the wrong side. What a powerful shot. Picking the right side of the net. Oh, here we're going to see a nice angle. That's one of those shots I think of, the old stories of when Bobby Hull started taking slap shots and they proved a goalie couldn't move quick enough. And that almost looked like that. That was in the net by the time Lushenko's arm moved.
So a 5-goal lead as the shot goes wide. Jonathan, tough uphill slide here for the boys from Edmonton.
Yeah, absolutely. That last one, I believe, was a screen, too. Demper's going right across the goaltender's vision as Haley puts it into the top right. But just as you said, Joe, now Edmonton really has some choices to make. They have to turn up the tempo of this game, finds a way to score some goals. But again, Whitby runs and guns so well, so it's really hard to come back on a team like that because to play the game they have to play, they're playing right into Whitby's hands, especially when their best players, as we've mentioned so many times, are so great in transition. So if you're Edmonton, you got to just take the chance now. You got to find a way to turn up the tempo of this game, get some looks. It's just a tough thing to do.
They've been getting some looks, but Caleb Martin has been shutting the door and making it a little black house back there because he has done a wonderful job when anything is broken through. And a lot of it has been from well outside, and he has not really been tested inside.
No, he's been excellent on the outside shots. I think that's that one that beat him, but for the most part, great strategy keeping them to the outside.
So a timeout being taken here. And John Lentz and his coaching staff trying to rally the troops a bit.
And you know what's interesting about this too, because it's a series, it's a 2 out of 3. They're not just playing for today. They're playing for how this game will affect tomorrow. So, it'll be interesting to see, if they cannot come back in this game. If Edmonton can't come back, how are they going to try to play? Are they going to try to get their scoring somehow? Are they going to try to play it tough? Are they, what are they going to try to do to set up for success tomorrow?
And matchups, how they're going to handle the Whitby attack, various things like that. And you're right. And whether they need to be more physical will be another aspect of it too, which is tough to do.
Tough to do, and it's been pretty physical so far.
So the timeout completed. 10-5 is our score here in the third period of game one. And if you're around tomorrow, why not drop out here to the CAA Center in Brampton and see game 2. Got a nice crowd on hand here this evening. And they have been treated to some pretty outstanding lacrosse. Poitras to the net. Stopped there on the short side by Lysenko. Edmonton trying to counterattack here, and then another turnover.
And this is why, we'll talk more about it tomorrow. There's going to be an MVP for this championship, and Poitras is a leading contender so far. You saw him there, one of their best offensive players, playing defense, going up the floor in offense, coming back, making the stick check. He has been great for them.
Haley with a shot that deflects wide. We talked about this championship and how difficult it was. And you think about back to some of the great players from Whitby named Roberts and Nieuwendyk.
Yeah, Roberts and Nieuwendyk won a Minto Cup, and Nieuwendyk was actually the MVP in that tournament.
Joe Nieuwendyk, and then of course they ran into problems from out west.
Yeah, well, the team that they beat when was had a couple of twin brothers named Paul and Gary Gate, but the first year, we'll give Joe Nieuwendyk credit, they beat the Gate brothers. Just the next 2 years, the Gate brothers were the 2 MVPs.
Here's a shot knocked away there nicely by Martin. And he has had a son. Now here's a turnover, a rare one by Whitby as Littlejohn's pass was picked off. Trying to backdoor feed, and it went just wide, and it will be Edmonton ball.
Yeah, I think the Whitby player stepped into the crease just after he caught that.
Harris getting it back on the right side. Kalen Harris, number 2, got it back of the net. Unable to get it in front of the goal, and then a whistling shot by Royer is wide, and turnover again. Warriors with the ball and a 5-goal lead, and 14:55 remaining here in the third period. Jonathan?
You could tell that was a set play there from Edmonton, and I like the fact that they're going behind the goal again, Whitby trying to really anchor low, trying to not let anything underneath. One of the options there is just go lower than underneath. Go behind the net, try to spin the defense, give them a new look, because it's obviously been a pretty effective defensive strategy coming over top every time. Not exactly easy. I like the idea there, going behind the goal line.
Basisti trying to work it into the slot. A good play, and Bowen scores. Bit of a delay from the official to make it count, but it's 10-6 as Jake Bowen gets on the board with his second goal of the game, and it is a 4-goal differential.
Yeah, just a quick inside pass. You know, Edmonton's still trying to get guys on the floor, but Bowen drives to the net. Batiste gives him that pass and he puts it in quickly. But sometimes when you're playing defense, it's not quite settled. You think they're still waiting for everybody to get on the floor, but Bowen quite nicely just takes it straight to the net. He's not necessarily waiting for the rest of his team to get on the floor. And nice finish.
10-6. But they need to catch a little lightning in a jar here and get some momentum going the other way. And again, another face-off win by Jack Oldman, but now turned over. But Oldman is able to recover it out of the feet of Reese Barnes. A pass into the slot area. Poitras with a shot. Boy, he had to twist his body around into a pretzel to get that shot away. Whitby with a fresh, with 13 seconds rather left in the shot clock. Haley with the shot off the mark wide. And 5 seconds left now on the clock, and a shot goes wide of the net. Trying to get it onto the goal to get a fresh shot clock, but unable to do it was Gabriel Sorchetti. And so now here's Edmonton trying to get back into the game, and play knocked down into Edmonton territory.
Great defense by Whitby. Now that won't count as an over and back because it was knocked back by Whitby, but they've
knocked off the shot clock.
15 seconds on the shot clock, you're right.
Played into the corner, 7 seconds left, trying to drive the net with a play from Ganton. That will stop the rebound. His shot over top of the goal. And there is the turnover.
Well, despite the good chances in on the net, Edmonton wasn't able to get a shot away.
Darlison has it knocked out of his stick. Got it back again momentarily, and now Poitras won't be able to get to it before it goes over the... Excuse me, that wasn't Poitras, that was Pfeiffer. Making a valiant effort at it. Bowen, far side. Gauthier and Bowen trying to exchange the ball a little bit here. Down the wall, Gauthier, spinning move, the assistant captain, a pass in, what a great feed! What a great feed from Gauthier. And Edmonton narrows the lead to 3. And the momentum is starting to...
And this is what I like about Gauthier's game. Picks up the loose ball, then watch. As 2 guys come up to him, he's always got his head up. And he finds a man. I'm looking here saying, okay, nobody on his side is open, but he's got great vision. He's even looking across at the right. You know, you see some great players who can drive the net, beat their man, take 2 or 3 guys in their back. But the added dimension that I love about his game is that he's always got his head up. And when the second or third guy comes at him, he knows where the pass can go. And that was a perfect example of that.
Jonathan, how did you see that goal?
Joe, I know we were talking earlier this week about your college football. There was a little Tim Tebow jump pass there from Gauthier, climbing the ladder, get it here, but a little bit of flair there, a little bit nicer than usual from Gauthier, climbing the ladder, making the pass.
So it is Marcus Needham who gets the goal from Gauthier, and it is 10-7.
Yeah, let's not forget to give Needham the credit. We gave him credit for the penalty that he took. Now he gets a nice goal, nice assist from Gauthier.
Whitby, lead shrinking to 3. Loose ball that the Miners didn't get wind of until it was too late. Haley from outside, bouncing shot, doesn't make it through. Still free, and now carried freely to center. Push, gets it in over the line. McFadden. Charlie McFadden. Got it off on the wing. Now to the near side. Push gets it down into the corner. Pass back in front. And a good save made by Martin. On a nice feed in front of the net. Harris chasing after his man, and a turnover. Loose ball out of the reach, just out of the reach of Davis Dame.
And that was a nice play. Was that Dame or was Pasisi got that chance? Well, you're right, it was Dame. He also was the one who knocked the ball loose to cause that turnover.
Boy, that would have turned the heat up in the kitchen just a tad, wouldn't it? A shot, nice save made there by Jace Lesenko. And Edmonton trying to work their way back as we get a look at our picture-in-picture on that turnover that was just not converted. Edmonton to Bowen, and a shot stopped there by Caleb Martin. Whitby trying to bring it back up the floor.
And that Bowen is definitely not a periphery player. He really likes to go to the inside to get his chances.
Talking with his dad, his younger brother Luke is probably the more talented player, but
that's all
older brother
very relative.
Works hard.
Very
works
relative.
Hard.
Yeah, they're both very talented.
Yep. Brought forward now by Edmonton. Down 3 with 10 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the third period. Gauthier, where's number 17? Fed off to Barnes. Back into the slot area for Bowen, going to the traffic, and then couldn't get the shot through the maze. But now with a scramble and the ball free, Bowen comes up with it. Just 1 second left. He did get it on the net, but time had run out in the eyes of the official. Turnover here to Whitby.
Yeah, just a little late, but Ben McDonnell did a great job blocking the earlier shot.
Down 3. Whitby has the ball and the lead. Soroketti in the corner. Dropping it back. Budway realizing time running out, trying to get a change. Stop made there by Lysenko. And Edmonton with 9:26 to play, trying to carve into this lead that is still 3. Comfortable, but not out of reach as far as Whitby is concerned defending here. And they've done a great job of defending all night. Harris can't find an avenue. Now being hounded. Cross floor, pass still well outside, and they're not even going to get a shot here.
Whenever you hear that 30-second buzzer go, the defensive coaches love it. You know they've done a great job.
And the rest of the players on the bench making sure that they show their appreciation. Jack Budway with the ball. Whitby with the lead. Fed by Knox into the corner. Riley Knox trying to go to the front. Pass back in front, and a Budway shot over the shoulder, the reverse, and it just went wide. Now a shot deflects wide of the net off the stick of Adam Poitras. And now here is Edmonton trying to break. But they're running into traffic as it's carried in by Jacob Power. Pass into the slot area, looking there for Needham. That didn't work. The scramble is on. Loose ball controlled by Edmonton. Gauthier trying to set the offense up. Goes to the net, Gauthier does, but the pass doesn't come. Bowen bowls over his man. Couldn't get a shot away. Another shot, this time stopped by Martin, but a fresh turnover, a fresh set of seconds here for Edmonton.
You gotta love the battle for the loose balls, and Bowen just runs his man over.
Edmonton with the ball. Bowen gets it off on the wing, goes to the front, can't get a pass, comes back. Basisti trying to get a shot, and that's off the goaltender, and another fresh 30. Good possession here, and some tired Whitby defenders out there. Another shot goes wide. Ball back of the net, controlled by Edmonton, and the Whitby defenders have got to be pretty tired here. This is the third opportunity for Edmonton on the offense. Still free. Trying to drive the net there was Dame.
They got it. I was shocked they didn't call a high stick, and eventually the referees got that.
So Edmonton is going to go to the power play here. It'll be the second they've had in the game, but the first one backfired on them when
shorthanded goal by Tapper.
Tapper scored the shorthanded goal.
But this was just a good long possession by Edmonton. And there you see the stick comes up the first time. You could have called that a hold as well. I'm not sure if he called it a high stick or a hold. Take your pick. Carter's shot is in the box. But you know what, Joe? You know, we talk about the way Gauthier plays. He can drive the net. He's like a bull when he goes to the net. But Jake Bowen is almost, and he's like 6'3", 200 pounds. It's the same thing. It's got to be tough covering those lefties.
How do you see it from down in the penalty box, boys?
Guys, I was just going to say, going back to that timeout, Coach Lynch took 10-5, very unconventional time to take a timeout. Most coaches obviously leave it for the end of the period, but a really good pushback here, regardless what happened in this last 6 minutes or 7 minutes or so. The energy has shifted down here on floor level. This Edmonton team is excited again. They're really pushing. Whitby, I think, a little bit frazzled here. Whether they can complete this comeback or not, a really solid pushback looking into tomorrow.
Bouncing ball loose on the wall. And the battle for possession is on. Reed trying to kick it along there. Scott Reed couldn't get it free. And now Edmonton has recovered. Minute 27 in the power play. In back of the goal. Did that get in the crease? No, says the official. Back it comes to the point. Harris holds, doesn't shoot it. Now in front. Shot.
Nice save.
Save made by Martin. Got the right arm and shoulder up to stop that. Now Reed barging down the boards, trying to protect the ball. I think it's come out, but at this point.
Oh, he still got it in the stick.
No, he still got it in the stick, yep. And he's doing a great job. Took 4 of them to get it free, and Edmonton finally comes up with it, and then Reed gets knocked down on the way to the bench.
I didn't see what happened there, but Reed went down.
A chance in front now for Edmonton. They can't get a shot away. Back it goes to Harris. His shot is blocked. Carried back now by the captain. Adam Poitras going to the net. Stopped by goaltender Lysenko.
Huge save, and one they absolutely needed at this point. Great play by Kobe Hanzar to get that turnover, and Poitras had a nice scoring opportunity.
Now here's Edmonton on the power play still. They've had one shot on goal on it. Harris, back for Gauthier. His shot deflected wide. Harris with a drive. That whistles wide. 2 seconds left in the shot clock, and that's going to do it, not only for the opportunity, but for the power play as well. So Whitby kills it off. They have killed off 2 and scored a shorthanded goal.
And even though no goals there, no shorthanded goals or anything, that's got to be a bit of a momentum lift for Whitby to kill that penalty off with just 4 minutes to go in the game.
Pass in front of the goal. A great chance there by Littlejohn, and that went off the shoulder and then off the post, and then Littlejohn intercepts and scores! Holy mackerel, what a great play! Lucas Littlejohn.
Well, that is a huge goal at this point in the game after 2 goals from Edmonton. Momentum seemed to be going their way, and Lashenko tries first. He's made a couple of big saves, tries to make the pass up the floor. I actually thought he had enough height on it, but Littlejohn does a big job of stretching up. That's a fantastic interception and a great finish.
So a huge goal, and I think you could almost feel the air coming out of the tires.
Yeah, you know, I was going to say that's the nail in the coffin for today, but the way I don't want to count Edmonton out. They just keep working. And we do know it's lacrosse, Joe. We've seen.
Oh, yes.
We've seen the goals come in bunches.
And as you mentioned, this is period 3 of possibly 9.
Yes.
So lots to be done and lots to be worked on here. But no question what an enormous goal by Littlejohn on a great play to intercept and then fire it home to make it an 11-7 game with 3:44 to play. And guess who? We're not going away yet, says the Edmonton Miners.
I love Bowen's game today. He's been fantastic. He's been the best player offensively. Loves to take it to the net. Loves the physicality, and these Calgary fans love it too.
Third of the game.
And he just gets a step on his man, McDonnell, and takes it to the net. And I thought Calgary didn't like Edmonton, but those young kids from Calgary, they're all from Alberta today.
As well they should. I think Edmonton or Whitby is thinking Edmonton is like a bad cold. They just won't go away.
No.
They are not.
And that's what they've done all tournament. They just play hard. You know, they seem not to get caught up in exactly what the score is. They play hard, keep coming at you.
Here's a chance now for Gauthier trying to go hard to the net.
Oh, somebody made a stick check. Somebody made a stick check at the last second, and I think it was Brock Haley.
And Whitby with the ball. Trying to send it high, but this rink and score clock change that. Ball comes back. Goaltender Martin trying to find it in the maze of legs and bodies there to get control of it.
We've had more scrum than rugby games, I believe.
Whoa, and a hit there. Takes down one of the Edmonton players.
And look who's in the middle of it. Gauthier, who gets the ball.
And he gets the ball. Edmonton down 3 again. And time running out. Brought back by Whitby. Littlejohn, who scored that big goal, now he gets another chance. Dishes out in front, scores! Poitras! Littlejohn really took it to the net. And Lysenko really had no choice but to stay with him. And when the pass was made, Poitras finished nicely.
Joe, I don't think we've mentioned Littlejohn's name until the third period on that last goal, but here I thought he's in big trouble. He's got 2 guys on him, and I think the third was coming. What a beautiful swim move, and he's got the composure and the vision to look across at Poitras. That is the kind of goal that just brings your bench up. That's the kind of goal that the team, the coach, everybody loves. It's just effort and smarts.
So Poitras finishes, but Littlejohn gets an enormous assist.
And again, that goes with what we were saying earlier. You know, you got the big guns on Whitby, but you got the Littlejohns, Soroketti, Pfeiffer, these guys. You know, and that's not to mention all the guys doing a good job on defense.
Reed,
yeah.
Yep.
He's been in a few battles.
Hasn't he? Here's Poitras with it again. Working around back of the net. Had a man in front, couldn't get it to Jack Oldham. Pfeiffer. And 1:48 to go, and the clock is not an ally of the Edmonton Miners. Here's Soroketti, and time will run out. 1:39 left to play.
But as you said, Joe, this is just period 3. We got a guaranteed at least 3 more periods tomorrow. And Edmonton hopes 3 more after that.
It'll be interesting to see if there are some lineup changes made. From outside, a shot knocked away there. Good save off of Gauthier made by Caleb Martin, who's in the scrum back of his goal. Tries to get back into the crease area. The scrum on the boards, and Edmonton comes out of the scrum with the ball. Harris with it at top. Minute 4 to go here in the third. A shot knocked away by Martin.
And we give Martin a lot of credit, but Whitby's done a great job getting their sticks on those outside shots too.
Another shot knocked away by Martin. Ball retrieved, brought on by Michael White, and he's going to carry it into Edmonton territory and try to kill off some time. 40 seconds left to go in game 1. And the Whitby Warriors are on their way with an empty net by Martin. No goal. Too many men on the floor?
I don't know.
It was waved off. I think there's going to be a penalty here.
Well, let's see.
Maybe not.
Oh,
okay.
You know, I think Whitby might have called a timeout before White put that in the net. I actually thought Michael White was just going to run around, and kill the clock, but I guess he saw that he had an opportunity.
He's going to go back to the bench and say, lads, there was really no need for this timeout.
That's what happens to defensive players. Guys like me.
Gets a chance to score.
My one chance to score a goal. You guys called a timeout? Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. At any rate, just a few seconds left to go in the third period, and the Whitby Warriors are on their way to winning game 1 of the best of 3 Minto Cup final. And please, if you are at all a lacrosse fan, come out and enjoy this tomorrow night, 7 o'clock here at the CAA Center in Brampton. We'll be here, Brian and Paul Hendrick, and the cast of thousands that we have working with us here. Of course, we've got Matt and Jonathan doing a great job.
Well, and I think at this point now in the game, you're going to see Whitby will try to kill the ball. I don't think you'll see anyone trying to take it to the net unless it's absolutely laying out wide open in front of them. Looks like there's 20 seconds left on the shot clock. No goalie in that. They're just going to, Edmonton's going to try to double team. Poitras starting with the ball, or is it White starting with the ball? Where's the ball, Joe? Can you see?
I think Poitras has it.
Poitras has it. Okay.
Yep, there he is. And he is very quickly double teamed, but doing a good job of scrumming it along the boards, and that draws a crowd.
Oh, what a play by Reed.
25 seconds, Reed gets in there.
I've liked his game too.
He's probably the smallest figure on the floor, but he's got a heart as big as his jersey. And a shot underneath Martin is going to be smothered. 9 seconds left, and a little will be here tomorrow night.
Oh, look at this.
Going on here. Gauthier getting shoved around. The time will run out.
I didn't even realize the time was still running.
I'm sure there's a little bit of we're not going anywhere. We'll see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow. That's the best part. I'm sure Edmonton hates that they lost this game, but they will be saying, see you tomorrow, boys.
So the final is the Whitby Warriors 12, the Edmonton Miners 8, in a entertaining and competitive opening game of the best of 3. And these two teams will meet again tomorrow night for game 2. And Paul Hendrick is down on the floor, and he's hoping to maybe secure someone, and I think maybe he has. And let's go down to him. Paul?
Joe, thank you. Lucas Littlejohn, a huge third period here. 2 goals, including a shorty and a great assist to set up Adam yet again. What was the key to stopping this Edmonton pushback when midway through the period it was evident they were going to get back into this game?
Yeah, I know. I think they're really good in transition. I think if we played our game and we stopped them in transition, got a guy high and get back, we thought it would be a good position for this third period, and that's what we did, so it went well.
What is it about you and Scott Reed that makes watching this game and playing it inside so enjoyable, as painful as it might be for you guys who get to play it?
Yeah, we're just tenacious. We're hungry. We want to win this championship, and we're going to do whatever it takes. So, we're going to battle every night, and we're going to take a beating, but it's going to pay the price.
You got to a national championship this spring with the Pickering Panthers in the Centennial Cup, ironically losing to a team from Brooks, Alberta. You're one win away from winning a national championship from a team from Alberta. Is there a significance for this? for you personally?
Definitely, it stung. Obviously, losing a national championship, it hurts. But I'm back, and I'm not losing this one, that's for sure.
All right, Lucas, thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Let's go back upstairs.
Thank you, Paul. Jacob Power being awarded player of the game for Edmonton. And I think Whitby, you could have circled a number of names, but goaltender Caleb Martin.
Excellent. That's an excellent choice, but you're right. I could have circled a number of guys on that team. And, it's so difficult, really, to pick one guy, one runner on the team because so many guys contributed. It just seems unfair. And Martin's a good call.
Well, we will be back here tomorrow night, Mr. Shanahan, and looking forward to Game 2 of this series. And we hope that some of you will join us, but we are going to be joined by Matt and Jonathan, who are standing by with our post-game thoughts. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Thank you very much, Joe and Brian, and to Paul Hendrick as well. Great job on the call. Great to hear those three voices yet again. Back upstairs, I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Jonathan Donville with thoughts on the game. By the way, Lucas Littlejohn, his father Frank, played in this building with the Brampton Beast as well. He talked to us in his feature about running around in the same dressing room that Whitby's got for this tournament. But I want to talk about Adam Poitras and how he exploded here in the third period.
Again, it seems like it's never a conventional goal with Poitras. It's always in transition, out the gate, playing defense off the face-off, and he was outstanding tonight as he's been all year. What a player, what a season he's having, and this tournament's been a nice way to cap it off.
Poitras was held pointless through the first two periods, gets his first assist on the goal. He ends up, I'm just checking the notes here, with a goal and 2 assists. I've asked the crew to throw in a couple highlights here of him playing defense as well as picking up and leading transition opportunities the other way.
Yeah, and if you look at the difference in the game, 4 goals, you get a couple face-off goals, you get the shorthanded goal. Really those kind of, that last goal by Poitras off, Littlejohn walking through a triple team basically.
That was disgusting, by the way.
Oh, that's awesome, right? It's one of those, if you don't like that, you don't like junior A lacrosse moments. But if you're Edmonton, the message has to be, we had them for most of this game, just a few lapses and goals in kind of weird situations, honestly, were kind of what did them in. So going to be lots of confidence for Edmonton. And if you're the Miners, you have to say, how do we keep this at 5-on-5 and in quote unquote normal situations as much as we can?
Well, they say the little things done right, and traditional lacrosse played very well by these two teams. They go back into it tomorrow. We talked at the intermission break in the second. Melnichuk, we expect to come back in net for Game 3 tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see what John Lintz does. But an interesting timeout for him as well halfway through. That did spark them to a 3-goal run and nearly a really big comeback here.
Yeah, again, for those who might not be aware, you get 2 timeouts a game, but you can only take 1 per period. So that's why you see almost exclusively teams will leave it for right at the end of the period to take a 6-on-5 situation. It's been a long time since I've seen a timeout like that in the third period, but it really helped. It was 10-5 at the time. His team got it back to 10-7, and just again so calm. The demeanor of his staff and his team has been really impressive all tournament. They just kept going, and they're going to get some confidence from that third period. I know they didn't get back in this game and win it, but they had a good pushback. They got Whitby on their heels a little bit, and there's going to be a little bit of momentum there coming from Edmonton, and they need all the momentum they can get. These kids must be exhausted coming into their 6th game now of the week, again with only 1 off day. They put a lot of lacrosse this week. They need all the juice they can get.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens tomorrow. 7 p.m. is your game time. If you're in the area, FanFest starts at 4 p.m. TheMintoCup.com is where you can get all your information, including tickets. On behalf of Jonathan Donville, Paul Hendrick, Joe Bowen, Brian Shanahan, and the rest of our crew, including director Alex Frasnow and producer Gary Morrison, I'm Matthew Carrick. Game 1 goes to the Warriors, 12-8 your final. They'll have a chance to capture the Minto Cup tomorrow at 7 p.m. But for now, good night from Brampton.